So who here remembers the 1980s? Raise your head. The 1980s. Boy, that takes me back. Let's see, there were the Bangles, there was Tears for Fears, there was Toto. Rod Stewart had some good hits in the 80s. That goes way back, doesn't it? And Ronald Reagan was president and Jimmy Blanchard was governor. I tell you, I had a full head of hair. I did. And I wore glasses too. I remember the 80s in particular because it was the time I was in seminary. During my time down in Arkansas, when I discerned a calling to the priesthood and followed it up, half of it at St. Meinrad in Indiana and the other half at St. John's in Plymouth. And then 33 years ago on this very day, November the 15th, 1987, I was ordained at Blessed Sacrament Cathedral. And I remember that day as one of the happiest days of my life. I remember just beaming and being on cloud nine. If you know Rosemarie Schwartz, she's one of our cantors, has a beautiful voice. She was in the Archdiocesan choir at the time. And years later, when I came out here to St. Malachy, Rosemarie says, I remember your ordination. And I said, really? Why would you remember that? And she says, because when I looked down there, you were the only guy being ordained who looked really happy. You were smiling, and just like everyone else looked nervous and tense, and you were just like having the time of your life. And, well, why not? It's your ordination day, right? You know, when I do marriages, I tell the couples, let's enjoy this day. Let's have fun. This is your big day. You know, no need to be nervous. This is the day to celebrate. You know, you're celebrating a sacrament. And, of course, ordination is one of the sacraments. My favorite story of the ordination Mass from 33 years ago is the part where you go up and you kneel before, that time it was Cardinal Sciacca, and you kneel before Cardinal Sciacca, and he anoints your hands. It's part of the ceremony, the anointing of your hands. And you walk up the steps, because you're sitting down below, and you walk up the steps, and it's quite dramatic, and you kneel down before the Archbishop, and he's got these permanent deacons standing on either side of him. And I'm kneeling in front of the Archbishop, and one of the permanent deacons, for whatever reason, dropped the jar of oil, and it spilled all over Cardinal Sciacca's lap. So I'm kneeling this, watching this literally inches away, and of course, Cardinal Sciacca is about to say something, and the other deacon is frantically trying to shut off the Archbishop's mic. If you knew Cardinal Sciacca, God bless him. But anyway, so altar servers are racing in and bringing in purificators to wipe up the oil, and I'm still kneeling there when this is all going on. I'm as close to Cardinal Sciacca as into that candle. You know, I'm kneeling. That's how close I am. So I look up at him and I said, would you like me to go back and sit down until they clean this up? And I'm going to do my best, Cardinal Sciacca. He said, no, Joe, stay where you are. You're blocking the view. The folks can't see this catastrophe. So I knelt there for the longest time. Anyway, after the ceremony was over, there was a reception at Sacred Heart Seminary, which is very close to the cathedral. And we were all there. My classmates were there, and the families were there. And my classmates came up to me and said, boy, you took the longest time up there to get anointed. Was Cardinal Sciacca having second thoughts? And I said, well, yes, he was, actually. He really was. But I was smart enough to bring my receipt for my CSA contribution, and it said paid in full, so he ordained me anyway. Anyway, I remember that happy day, and I know we are encouraged from time to time to speak about the importance of vocations to the priesthood, and I can only say about someone who wanted to consider that kind of a life, if you are capable of being a happy celibate, you can have a great life as a priest. That's the most important thing to discern. And it's not something to be rushed into, but takes a lot of prayer and time. But I know that if you are called to be a priest, you're exercising your talents, and it comes with its good days and its bad days, and it comes with its struggles just like a marriage does, and it requires patience just like a marriage does, except you're not married to one person, you're married to a parish. And let me tell you something, being married to all of you, it ain't always a bed of roses. But I will tell you that it's far better than not. There's far more good days than not. And to be able to share, just like in a marriage, you share your most important moments together, so too, sacramentally, a priest shares the most important days with the family, whether it's celebrating a baptism or a joyful marriage, or sadly saying goodbye to someone at a funeral, or being with them doing anointing in a hospital room. The big important moments that we all remember are the moments that often the parish priest is called to share and help the person through it, or to celebrate with them. So if you know anyone who's contemplating the priesthood, is praying about it, is reflecting about it, have them give them a call and I can tell them my story. And it's also important to pray for vocations and to be encouraging of people. Like I say, it's not for everybody. Most people are called to marriage. But if you know someone who you think might make a good priest and you want to be encouraged to them, I highly recommend it, because the Lord knows the church needs more good priests. Thank you.